Hey guys, my name is Broken. Today I have a little bit of a different video for you. This one is going to be about playing against Ember Spirit as Phantom Lancer. Now usually most of the content on this channel talks about playing as Ember Spirit, but I feel like learning about a hero also includes learning how to play against a hero. And this is commonly known as one of the strongest counters to Phantom Lancer. So I wanted to talk about this matchup and tell you what I think and how you should play a Phantom Lancer against an Ember Spirit. Now, first of all, I don't think that this matchup is actually quite as bad as some people make it out to be. There's a whole lot you can do as the PL. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. The first thing I want to talk about is the skill interactions. Obviously, the main reason that Ember Spirit counters Phantom Lancer in the first place is his Sleight of Fist. And that's really easy to dodge if you have a group of illusions. I'm just going to create them with Doppelganger real quick. If you have a group of illusions and the Ember slights you, you can easily just dodge it with your Doppelganger. You see that the second he slights me, as soon as I Doppelganger, the sleight breaks. He's no longer able to continue to sleight. So that's a really good way to dodge a Sleight of Fist. Now, unfortunately, the cooldown of Doppelganger is 10 seconds, while the cooldown of Sleight of Fist is 6. So this means that you can't dodge every single sleight, but you can dodge every second one. So he slights you, you dodge it. 6 seconds later, he slights you again, you can't do anything. And then 6 seconds later, again, he slights you, and you can dodge that one. So when playing against an Ember Spirit, try and make sure to hold your Doppelganger and use it to dodge the Sleight of Fist whenever possible. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is item interactions, and depending on how you itemize as a Phantom Lancer against an Ember Spirit, I feel like there's a whole lot that you can do. Now, first of all, a lot of items that PL builds naturally, the main one being Diffusal Blade, are actually really good against Ember Spirit anyway. For example, Diffusal Blade absolutely destroys Ember Spirit. If you're able to get on top of an Ember Spirit, especially if he does not have a safety remnant out, the Diffusal Blade absolutely melts him. Ember doesn't exactly have very much armor, and the mana burn from the Diffusal Blade really messes with Ember as well, since he might not have mana to remnant away, he might not have mana to use a Sleight of Fist. Basically, if you can get on top of him with a Diffusal Blade and you just get all your illusions swarming around him, this item absolutely melts the Ember Spirit. In addition to that, you can actually purge his Flame Guard, which is more relevant early game, obviously, so you want to pick up your Diffusal Blade as soon as possible. You can actually sorry, I have Lincoln's on. You can actually purge his Flame Guard, as you can see right there, with the Diffusal Blade, and that's more relevant early, but it could still be relevant late game. Now, the hard part, obviously, about getting on top of an Ember Spirit and locking him down is the fact that he can just remnant away all the time. And there is a pretty simple way to deal with this, and you get items such as Abyssal Blade and Blink Dagger. And these items are actually really good on PL, and it's unfortunate that not enough people, actually build these items, because they're really good, especially when playing as an Ember Spirit. If you can blink on top of him, Abyssal him, and lock him down, that gives you that time that you need to, whack away at the Ember Spirit, with your Mantis Saw, with your Diffusal Blade, and bring him down. So these items you should definitely consider buying. Now, obviously, the Ember Spirit can get a Lincoln Sphere, so that you can't just jump on top of him like that and Abyssal Blade him. But there's a pretty easy solution to this, and that is your Diffusal Blade, in fact, which you should already have. You can easily pop the Lincolns and then Abyssal him by using the Diffusal just before you use the Abyssal. As you can see there, I just use the Diffusal and then immediately use the Abyssal after, and the Ember gets his Lincolns popped and still gets stunned. Now, one of the more unconventional items that I want to talk about is a Ghost Scepter into Ethereal Blade build. Now, if you're really far behind, you're kind of getting wrecked early, then what you can consider doing is buying a Ghost Scepter. And the reason that this is good is because cleave damage is physical damage. So this means that when we are ethereal, we do not take any cleave damage, and it also means that Sleight of Fist won't hit us. So if I get a group of illusions here, let me just turn on free spells. Okay. So we have some illusions. I E-Blade myself. You can see that the main PL didn't take any damage at all, and that's because I was ethereal form. So you can consider getting a Ghost Scepter early on to kind of avoid this if you don't have many levels in Doppelganger, or you find that the Ember is still kind of wrecking you when you have a big group of illusions. Now, this can be easily transitioned into the late game, because when you want to, switch your items out, you can start building towards a Butterfly, and you pick up the Eagle Song first, and this gives you an E-Blade, which for the time being is quite good, since you still want to keep your Ghost Scepter for as long as possible. It gives you 40 agility, and you can use it on the enemy if you want. To create a kind of, you can do like a nuke with your Spirit Lance. But once you do get the extra components of your Battle Fury and you want to switch out your Ghost Scepter, you can easily just disassemble the E-Blade and then pick up the Eagle Song again with the other components of your Butterfly, and then you can just sell the Ghost Scepter. So there you go, and I have your Butterfly. So if you do feel that you need to go a Ghost Scepter early, it is a possibility. You can do it. It's not ideal, obviously. It's only if you're really far behind, but you can do it, and then you can easily transition that into a Butterfly well into the late game. Now, in terms of tanking items, I would probably suggest buying a Heart rather than a Scotty, since the armor from the Scotty doesn't really do anything against the cleave damage from Ember Spirit. Since it ignores armor, and you may find that you often have to back out after taking a whole lot of damage and then reinitiate, especially if you're trying to push high ground against an Ember Spirit. And in this case, the regen from Heart is definitely much better than a Scotty to allow you to go back, regen back up, and then go back in. So that's probably one of the better items to get. Now, once you have all these items, how do you think you should go about playing against an Ember Spirit? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Especially once you have an Abyssal Blade and a Blink Dagger, you can smoke up, gank the Ember, and try and jump on him out of the smoke with your Blink Dagger and stun him down and bring him down. In fights, when you actually need to come face to face with the Ember, just make sure to try and dodge the Sleight of Fist whenever possible with your Doppelganger, and if you see an opportunity, try and get on top of him and bring him down with your Illusions and your Diffusal Blade, and the Ember should melt really, really quickly. All this being said, I still would not recommend picking a Phantom Lancer into an Ember Spirit, but if you do find yourself in that situation, make sure to build the right items, make sure to use your Doppelganger to dodge the Sleight of Fist whenever possible, and hopefully you should have a fairly good chance at winning that game. So I hope this video helped you guys out. If you liked it, please remember to leave a like down below. If you have any questions or any requests for future videos, leave them down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.